אנחנו עוברים לנאום המרכזי, הנאום הפותח של מליאת הפתיחה. אני מתכבד להזמין את כבוד ראש משלחת האיחוד האירופאי למדינת ישראל, השגריר לארס פאברג אנדרסון. So, dear ambassador, you are welcome. While I was preparing myself to this conference, I read a bit about you, and I learned, you know, I'm a member of kibbutz Ein HaShofet, so I learned that in the 70s, you were a volunteer in a kibbutz, in Neot Mordechai. True, right? So the good life of the 70s in the kibbutzim for the volunteers, it's not what we have now. But as you know, the challenge is big, and we're looking forward to hear your statements. And you're more than invited from those past years of the 70s to the current situation of an institution that is backed by the kibbutz movement to enlighten us on the way it's done in the places where you come from, and we are extremely happy to host you here. Please welcome.
Thank you very much for that introduction. It's really a great pleasure for me to be here today, and I would like to thank very much Givat Kaviva for the invitation to this very important conference. It's good to see so many here who engage in the vital effort of advancing a shared and democratic society in Israel. I'd like to be clear on one point from the outset, and that is that the EU sees Israel as a vibrant democracy, a country that sets high standards of human rights for itself and has a legal system in which the rule of law is deeply enshrined and entrenched. A developed and pluralistic civil society that can freely express itself and that debates often quite hotly, I've experienced the many challenges Israeli society faces. The EU is happy to work together with Israel, both with the Israeli government and with the civil society, to sustain and support our common shared values. This is why we have supported over the years a large array of projects and initiatives to advance what you will all be discussing at this conference today, namely how to build and cultivate a shared society in Israel, a society that safeguards the rights of minorities, in particular the Arab minority. We will continue to support these efforts, and we are looking forward to go on working with many of you on this project in the future. Let me share with you two examples of projects the EU delegation has supported, fully linking up with today's discussions. Firstly, we are supporting and funding 3 projects implemented by the Adam Institute, the Association of Civil Rights in Israel, and the Center for Educational Technologies, which directly feed into the Other Is Me program that is on today's agenda, by providing teachers with techniques, materials, and networking of possibilities to counter the occurrence of racism in schools. Those programs are accredited by the Ministry of Education Civics Department. We also support projects for the Coalition Against Racism, which is a 38-member-strong civil society platform that promotes, hand-in-hand with other authorities, including the Israeli police and members of Knesset, the values of tolerance for all, whether Ethiopians, Russian speakers, Arabs, or asylum seekers. As a European representative, I would also like to underline one point very strongly, and that is that Europe too has to grapple with the challenges of a complex, multi-ethnic, multi-religious, and multicultural society. We do not have perfect recipes in Europe, and we have not come here to lecture you on what you need to do, but to share and learn from experience successes as well as failures. As you may know, last weekend there were elections to the European Parliament. Many Europeans voted for parties that do not support the concept of a shared society of tolerance and diversity. There are many reasons for this, which we will need to address in Europe. But it is important to remember that well over 2/3 of the European Parliament continue to be pro-European and are committed to fight for the values and principles that the EU stand for. One of these principles is zero tolerance for racism, anti-Semitism, and xenophobia. We are still deeply shocked about the terrible murder of at the Jewish Museum in Brussels last Saturday, a disgusting anti-Semitic act of terror. Both President Barroso and the High Representative Cathy Ashton condemned the attacks within hours and expressed their solidarity with the victims' families, the Jewish community, and the Belgian authorities in their efforts to bring the perpetrators to justice. There must be no doubt about it. The attack is also an assault on fundamental European values that will not be tolerated and should not be tolerated. At the same time, we must not let a small number of extremists deter us from continuing to build shared societies. Societies that accept and positively manage their diversity. A shared society, as I understand it, goes beyond coexistence. It is a lot more than live and let live. It not only seeks legal equality, but equal opportunities. It provides democratic participation for all and effectively combat discrimination and exclusion. These are huge tasks in many European societies, but also in Israel, where the reality of multi-layered society meets an extremely complex historical and political context. Many seem to agree that while there is equality before the law, important social, economic, and political divides remain between the Jewish majority and the Arab minority. These divides are palpable in employment and in housing statistics, but also in public opinion polls, as the one just released before this conference about Jewish and Arab attitudes towards each other. There has also been a worrying tide of racist and nationalist crimes, and it is up to the authorities to demonstrate that they effectively prosecute such crimes regardless of who the perpetrators are and who the victims are. Many important efforts have been devoted to addressing the gaps between Jews and Arabs in Israel, and a lot of them supported by the EU or EU member states. As much as it is important to build interpersonal ties, to better educate about the other, and to promote relations between communities, it is also vital to address structural inequalities, enhancing Arab participation in high-tech, in IT and other growth sectors, and the empowerment of women can boost economic development. Equitable land allocation and urban planning is key to allow legal development of housing and businesses. Arab participation in higher education and in civil service employment can contribute to social cohesion. There are already many successful and encouraging examples, but more can and must be done, not only to ensure equality of all Israeli citizens, and in particular of the Arab minority. Building a truly shared society also offers opportunities for growth and social development. It should lead to a society where everybody feels safe and at home, where everybody's dignity is respected. In this regard, the EU has been worried at times about some initiatives that would limit fundamental freedoms or legalize discrimination. So far, fortunately, none of the most troubling bills have actually become law. But they already had a chilling effect on the atmosphere and can contribute to the feeling of alienation. We expect the government to firmly oppose any potentially discriminatory action and to take a strong position against hate speech and so-called price tag. We also call on leaders of the Arab community in Israel to pass the kind of responsible messages that can help heal the gulf in trust between Jewish and Arab communities. Looking at today's program, I think you have identified two extremely relevant topics: education and economic inclusion. Both of those are areas where it's possible to advance concrete initiatives which can bring tangible output. It is important that both civil society and the government join forces here. From my experience, one without the other would not be able to develop their full potential. Therefore, I'm glad to see here today government officials, local authorities, educational professionals, and business leaders. I think it's particularly commendable that you are planning to come up with a set of concrete recommendations to guide cross-sector cooperation. Together, you can make a difference. I wish you a constructive debate, creative ideas, and tenacity that is needed to implement them. I thank you very much for your attention.